Class 11. Today I am taking questions on finding domain and range of real functions. Okay, these are very important out here, children, to understand. And so I'll start with question number 2 of exercise 2.3, in which they have asked you to find domain as well as range of the given functions. So the first function given is fx is equal to minus of modulus of x. Okay, so when they are saying domain, we know what domain of function is. Domain is collection of all x. Okay, a function has x and y, two entries in the ordered pair, pre-image and image. Okay, so x means the pre-image, so collection of all the pre-image is termed as domain, we know that. Okay, and collection of all images or y of the ordered pair is known as the range, that we know. Okay, so that we'll keep in mind. And we were told about real functions. So we said, well, how was real functions defined? A function is said to be real function if its domain as well as range both are real numbers, or both are subsets or equal to real numbers. That is how we had defined a real function. Okay, so that is all we have to keep in mind when we are trying to solve, or we are trying to find domain and range for these real functions. Okay, so we have to focus on, अब हमने बोला कि this is a real function, so its domain should be real number or subset of real number. So when we have got to find domain of any given function, this fx is any function which has been defined as minus of modulus of x. So आपको क्या करना है? You have to think, is there any value of x, any real number, okay, or any real number x for which this expression will not be defined. Okay, so that is how you have to think. Is there any real number for which I will not be able to find modulus of that real number? If so, you have to exclude that from the domain, because that is what we are saying is real function, that for some x should be real as well as y. Pre-image and image both have to be real numbers. So आपने यहाँ से वो x rule out कर देना है जिसके लिए आप y को real नहीं निकाल सकते, real number नहीं निकाल पाओगे, या you won't be able to define it, you won't be able to calculate it, as you understand. Okay, so now if you focus on this particular function, so if x is any real number, as I've written here, that fx is defined for all x being real number. So think of all the real numbers. Think, or is there any real number for which you cannot find its modulus value? No. For every real number, we can find its modulus value. Okay, for every real number, modulus value is defined. And then for that modulus value, we can multiply it by minus sign and we'll still end up getting some real number. Okay, so that is why we are saying that this fx, as it has been written here, this is defined for all real numbers, for all x belonging to real number. Therefore, the domain of this function will be termed as real number. Means हर real number के लिए मैं ये calculation कर सकती हूँ, ये evaluate कर सकती हूँ. Or the other way around, for every real number I can find an image. So the domain is all real numbers. You get that? Okay. Now think the other way around for range. So for range you have to think it the other way around. Is there any y? Range को हम y से represent करते हैं. Okay, y is equal to fx. That is how we write a function. Okay, that is how we express a function. Y is a function of x. So x comma y is a ordered pair. So now when you have to think of range, अभी तक हम domain का सोच रहे थे, तो we said कि ऐसे x हटा दो जिसके लिए y will not come to be a real number. Now for range it has to be the other way around. वो सारे y हटा दो जिसके लिए x डोमेन का पार्ट नहीं होगा, right? So now to see that way, we'll see here now how did our image is defined as minus of modulus of x. Now x we have, पहले हम डोमेन डिसाइड करते हैं, डोमेन के अकॉर्डिंग ही हमारा इमेज आता है या रेंज बनता है. Okay, so first thing we have chalked out what is our domain. Now for the domain we will think further, that if x is real number, we said that x can be any real number. So x being any real number, when I am finding modulus of that real number, it would come out to be a positive real number. That is how modulus function is defined. That is what modulus function means. Okay, so modulus of any real number is a positive real number. R plus से denote होता है वो set. Okay, so I have said that x being real number, modulus of x is a real number. Right? Now, when this is a real number, now if I multiply this by minus sign, so every positive number with multiplied with a negative gives you a negative number. So minus of modulus of x ought to be negative. You get that? So domain थी real number, उसका modulus will be a positive real number clearly, and negative of that will be a negative real number. So what do I conclude? कि जो मेरी images बन के आएंगी यहाँ से, ये है मेरी image fx, y. Okay, that would always come out to be negative. आप कोई भी real number ले लो, कोई भी element domain का pick up कर लो, आपका जो answer so called y आएगा, image आएगी, will come out to be a negative number. Okay, so in interval form or in set, we have studied closed interval, open interval, all that. Okay, so interval form, how do I represent negative real numbers? So you can either write this way, that range is all negative real numbers, या more proper way of presenting would be this, that this fx, ये जो मेरा y है, image है, ये कैसा आ रहा है? It is coming out to be a negative number for sure, right? So that is why I would say range of this function is all negative numbers, and that's the way to represent. From minus of infinity, all we know set of real numbers goes to infinity on either side. Negative integer real numbers, positive real numbers, all go up to infinity. So all negative real numbers will be represented like this, from minus of infinity to 0. 0 can be included because our real number 0, modulus of 0 would be 0, and 0 is neither negative nor positive. Okay, so 0 can be included. So this is how we'll get a range. Clear? Okay, now for the same question, let us see the second part. Function given to you was fx is equal to under root of 9 minus x square. ओके, सो मैंने आपको क्या बोला था कि हमको ये सोचना है कि कहीं कोई ऐसा x तो नहीं है जिसके लिए मेरा y इमेज इज नॉट डिफाइंड, या मैं उसे इवेल्युएट नहीं कर सकती हूँ. इट कैन नॉट बी इवेल्युएटेड. ओके, नेक्स्ट व्हाट डू वी नो? वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट फॉर रियल नंबर्स अंडर रूट ऑफ नेगेटिव नंबर्स इज नॉट डिफाइंड. ठीक है, आप 10th में भी जब करते थे, आपका डिस्क्रिमिनेंट अंडर रूट में नेगेटिव आता था, आप कहते थे नो सोल्यूशन, नो रियल रूट्स. Okay, because till now you don't know how to find under root of a negative number, or we can say for real numbers under root of real numbers, negative real numbers does not exist. So clearly जैसे मुझे ये root sign दिखा, I know the expression inside should be a positive number. ये negative का root में नहीं निकाल सकती हूँ. तो क्या condition लग जाती है for this to be defined? For this to be defined rather, which is equivalent to under root, that whatever is in the under root should be positive number. Okay, so fx will be defined only if what is in under root is a positive number. This was under root. 9 minus x square should be positive. Taking x square to the other side, x square is smaller than 9 बन जाएगा. ठीक है? Now children, this is about inequalities. This chapter, now you in 10th you haven't studied inequalities. You'll be studying it now. We'll be dealing with inequalities in detail. We'll be learning how to solve it. So you require knowledge of inequalities here. So in little bit I'm briefing for you what all is required for solving this, and maybe you'll follow these questions much better after we have done inequalities. Okay, but that is not a difficult concept, so I'm trying to explain you just try to grasp it. Okay, so children, there is this result you have to keep in mind to be able to solve it, because that's a huge chapter, inequality. तो मैं इतने short में आपको एकदम से नहीं बता सकती अभी, but for what is required for these particular questions, I'm just focusing on that. Okay, we'll do it in detail later. Now these two results, children, are important, which you have to keep in mind, kind of learn them. I'll explain them also. Okay, so whenever you get any x square unknown smaller than equal to some numbers square, some real numbers square, then this x ought to fall in this interval from minus of the value to plus of that value. The other way around, two results are there. अगर ये smaller than की जगह greater than का sign है, x square is greater than equal to a square, तब आपका range बनता है from minus infinity to minus a and a to infinity. Okay, smaller than के लिए इन दोनों के बीच में आता है x, and greater के लिए beyond that. This covers the whole number line. Okay, so these two results for now you can learn to be able to solve it. So as we got out here, x square is smaller than equal to 9 is 3 square. So x should be from minus of 3 to plus of 3. That is how you'll get your solution of this inequality. Okay, so this inequality solution would be that x would range from minus of 3 to plus 3. Okay, so क्या कंक्लूजन आया हमारा? हमने बोला कि ये fx या y हमारा रियल नंबर होगा या डिफाइंड होगा व्हेन the expression in the root sign would be positive, and this will be positive when x would be from -3 to 3, keeping this result of inequality in mind. आप उसको through examples भी समझ सकते हो. This you have to learn obviously and understand. See, values रख के भी you can check. If you go beyond 3, say take any value beyond 3, 4 ले लो. If you take x as 4, this would become 9 minus 4 square is 16. तो नेगेटिव हो जाएगा ना, तो फिर वो डिफाइन नहीं होगा. एंड 3, एज सुन एज यू गो बियॉन्ड -3 और +3, आपको खुद दिखेगा कि ये एक्सप्रेशन नेगेटिव आते जा रहा है. टेक एनी वैल्यू, क्रॉस चेक इट योरसेल्फ, एंड वेन एवर यूल बी विद इन दिस रेंज. 1 रखा है आपने, सो 9 - 1 8 पॉजिटिव, 0 पॉजिटिव. ओके, मे बी 1.5, 2.5, any other value you take which will be falling in this range, the expression will come out to be positive. जैसे ही आप इसके beyond कोई भी value रखोगे, this will become negative. So you clearly know that this will not be defined. So that was just for understanding, and but every time इतने हम trial and error नहीं करेंगे, तो ये results याद रख के we will draw our conclusion from here. Okay children, so that is why the domain of this particular function is from -3 to 3, क्योंकि इसी रेंज के लिए ये डिफाइंड होगा. बियॉन्ड दिस रेंज ये नेगेटिव बन जाएगा, तो आप इमेज नहीं निकाल सकते हो. राइट? ओके, नाउ फॉर रेंज ऑफ द सेम. फॉर रेंज नाउ, रेंज में हमें उल्टा करना होता है. हमें देखना होता है कि कोई ऐसा y तो नहीं है जिसके लिए x एब्सर्ड आ रहा है. Right? So for that, for understanding that, what I've done is I've written this whole expression as suppose it was y, so that expressing, solving becomes easier. Okay, so fx is y, then y would be equal to, as per given, under root of 9 minus x square. अब आप इसको उल्टा कर लो. जैसे यहाँ आपका y in terms of x था, x in terms of y ले आओ. Okay, so I've squared this relation. If this is true, then y square is equal to 9 minus x square. Then from here, x will be equal to अंडर रूट ऑफ 9 माइनस वाई स्क्वेयर. तो अब आपको सोचना है कि ये कब प्रॉपर होगा, ऐसा होगा जिसके लिए x विल बी डिफाइंड द अदर वे राउंड. ओके, सो व्हेन व्हाट शुड बी रेंज ऑफ y हियर सो दैट x इज कमिंग प्रॉपर और इज सॉल्वेबल और इज डिफाइंड. So if you go to see, the expressions are exactly the same. See, 9 minus x square, 9 minus y square. तो जो ऑब्वियसली जो ये सब हमने वर्किंग करके सोल्यूशन x के लिए निकाला था, वही y के लिए निकल के आता है अगर एक्सप्रेशन सेम है नेचुरली. सो y अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस वुड बी अगेन फ्रॉम -3 to 3 एज वाज x. ओके, बट फर्दर अब इमेज जो है हमारी डिफाइंड होती है. ओके, x तो हमारा चॉइस होता है डोमेन, बट जो डोमेन होती है अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट डोमेन एंड द रूल एज द फंक्शन इज गिवन, इमेज निकल के आती है. y is defined. So आपको थोड़ा इसमें और क्रॉस चेक करना पड़ेगा. You can't blindly say that your image is from -3 to 3, चाहे मैथमेटिकली सेम आ रहा है, बट आप कहोगे कि we have been given the function fx as under root of 9 minus x square. तो यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव रूट लिया है उसने. आपको उसने खुद बोला है कि जो भी आंसर, देखो ये तो पॉजिटिव हो गई, पॉजिटिव का उसने जब अंडर रूट लिया है तो बाहर भी उसने पॉजिटिव साइन कंसिडर करा है. दैट मीन्स आपका ये जो वाइज आएंगे ये हमेशा पॉजिटिव आएंगे. योर वाई कैन नॉट बी नेगेटिव. उसने आपको चॉइस नहीं दिया. अगर आप खुद अंडर रूट लेते हो, यू टेक प्लस माइनस बोथ द साइंस, बट इन दिस केस वाई हैज बीन डिफाइंड फॉर यू एज पॉजिटिव. ओके, सो यहाँ से जो नेगेटिव वैल्यूज हैं वो आपको रिजेक्ट करनी पड़ेगी. It's given that the image cannot be negative. All right, so your range would be, आप जो negative values थी उन सबको छोड़ के अपना आंसर सिर्फ positive पे फोकस करोगे. So that would be from 0 to 3 only range. Okay, domain will be from -3 to 3, but your answers we know, images जो आएंगी वो negative नहीं आ सकती हैं, तो आप ये negative values drop करके range कहोगे from 0 to 3. Clear? I hope you've understood something.